I don't think I ever saw this day coming. I was one of those people that said, we'll never get to the bottom of Epstein. We're never going to get an Epstein list, Epstein files. It's over. Not going to happen, especially the way Trump was reacting to it. But guess what? We now have confirmation that Ghislaine Maxwell has been subpoenaed officially to come before Congress and spill the beans on everything. Check this out. Here's the official subpoena posted by Representative James Comer, who is in charge of the House Oversight Committee. He posts this on X saying, I have issued a subpoena to Ghislaine Maxwell for a deposition to occur at Federal Correctional Institution in Tallahassee on August 11th, 2025. The Department of Justice is cooperating and will help facilitate the deposition at the prison. So here is the actual deposition, the official document that says that Ghislaine Maxwell can now come before Congress and tell everything she knows about what's going on here with Epstein. Her lawyer says she will tell the truth, the whole truth, as she always does. I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this? Do you think this is a good idea, bad idea? Do you want to hear testimony from Ghislaine Maxwell? Do you think it's just another witch hunt? Do you think there's nothing there? Do you think there's no way she's going to tell the truth? Do you think her safety is in jeopardy? Let me know in the comments down below. I, for one, I definitely 1,000,000,000% want to hear what she has to say. And quite honestly, I don't think she has anything to lose. She's already spending a lifetime in prison. But you know what's really crazy here? Here's the number one burning question that just seared through my brain when this news first broke. Why in the world didn't the Democrats demand, investigate? Why didn't the then Department of Justice ask any questions of the one person who was probably the most on the ins of everything that was going on, who was responsible for facilitating this entire crime syndicate ring of awful, I can't even say the word, but basically robbing young people of their innocence on this island and facilitating the trafficking of that? Why didn't the then Department of Justice ask questions? And why did the Democrats demand these Epstein files, Epstein list, etc., in the last 4 years, 2020 to 2024? Why? And now all of a sudden they're up in arms. When there's political advantageous and political capital involved, now they're up in arms. Now they're raising hell. Now they're raising their voices as they always do. But where were you for the last 4 years? Why didn't then FBI Director Christopher Wray investigate this? Check out this clip right here that might give a little bit of an insight to that from our guy from Louisiana, Senator John Kennedy. Watch this.
What's the FBI doing to investigate the other people that were involved in these sex trafficking rings?
Well, I'm not sure that I can confirm any specific individual.
Well, let me put it this way. Let me give you some facts, widely reported. Jeffrey Epstein had video surveillance in all of his homes and on his private island. The FBI and other federal agencies have raided his houses. Do you have those tapes?
Again, I can't discuss the specifics of our law enforcement operations related to Mr. Epstein or Ms. Maxwell, but obviously we had very active investigation related to both of them.
I just want to know if these prominent people are above the law and are going to be and aren't being investigated, or is the FBI investigating them?
Well, no one is above the law, number one. As to whether specific people are being investigated, that's not something that I, as I'm sure you can appreciate, can engage on here. We've devoted significant resources to the investigation.
Is it ongoing?
I'm not sure there's anything I can share with you on that, but let me see if we can get back to you and provide a little more.
Well, for example, these allegations in this lawsuit, the civil action.
I haven't seen
you ought to read
the article.
It'll trigger your gag reflex. Is the FBI going to investigate that?
Well, again, I haven't seen the article, but I would be happy to take a look at it and take it back and see if it's part of something.
I'd just like to know.
I share your.
Yeah, is the FBI still investigating this, or are these prominent people going to go scot-free?
I'm not sure that I can tell you whether or not there is ongoing work being devoted to this. I would be happy to take a look at the specific article. I share your disgust at Mr. Epstein's conduct and Ms. Maxwell's conduct.
And others.
The whole operation.
Sounds to me like a lot of deflection. Sounds to me that if you're the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, you should know if there's an ongoing investigation into one of the largest crimes in the history of our country, and definitely the largest crime of the century at the very least. But where was the outrage from the Democrats based on these very nebulous and vague, evasive answers? Where was the press conference? Where was the interviews on C-SPAN and CNN and all the woke propagandist media yelling and getting upset and saying, see, they're hiding something. See, they're covering it up. No, you didn't see any. There was zero. Big, giant goose egg. So again, I just wonder, why didn't you guys bring this up over the last 4 years? Why didn't you guys release this over the last 4 years? If you claimed it was such a big deal, if now you're claiming it's such a big deal, well, I'd love to hear from you, but I think we all know what the answer to that is. We also have some other breaking news. I've got a lot to share with you. I can't wait. I want to hear from Ghislaine Maxwell. I think you do too. We have a lot of breaking news today. We have Pam Bondi talking about a new task force. She has responded to Tulsi Gabbard. We also have a haircut that passes for a man, American psycho Gavin Newsom admitting on a podcast that, yes, there was an orchestrated coup to oust Biden. Wait till you see that. Stick around for that. But before we get into all that, I have to talk about this. I have to share this. We've lost a lot of people from my childhood, especially if you're a Gen Xer like me, in the past, couple of weeks here, if not just last couple of days, actually. Forgive me. Ozzy Osbourne, gone. Sadly, tragically, Malcolm Jamal Warner from The Cosby Show, drowned in Costa Rica. He was only 54 years old. Ozzy was, I believe, 76 or 77. And now breaking today, literally one of the icons of my childhood, Hulk Hogan has passed due to a cardiac issue, a cardiac arrest, actually, today. And I just want to say that one of the most amazing human beings, one of the most biggest icons, when he body slammed Andre the Giant in 1987 on WrestleMania 3. I'm going to show you a clip in just a second. It was literally one of the most iconic moments in my life in sports history. It was like akin to when Muhammad Ali, for boomers perhaps, when Muhammad Ali knocked out Sonny Liston when everybody thought he couldn't. Or even the probably one of the most amazing upsets of all time was the Rumble in the Jungle, Zaire, when Muhammad Ali upset George Foreman. Everybody thought, I think Ali was like a 9-1 underdog or 10-1 underdog, something crazy like that. And he pulled the rope-a-dope. That was one of the greatest boxing matches of all time. I want to share this clip just in kind of homage of Hogan at the RNC speech last summer, where he ripped his shirt off. It's just so awesome. And then I'm going to share with you Trump responds to Hulk Hogan and this touching video by another huge icon. I mean, Mount Rushmore of wrestling. He was definitely my favorite wrestler. Hogan wasn't my favorite wrestler, but I respected him 1,000,000%. But Ric Flair was my favorite wrestler, personality, style, everything. There is a candid video of him getting really, really emotional moments after, caught by TMZ, of him sharing his feelings and thoughts on Hogan's passing. I'm going to share that with you. But first, check out this awesome coverage. Hogan was a huge supporter of America, a huge supporter of Trump, huge supporter of America First agenda. Check this clip out real fast.
What happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough, and I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
Oh man, I thought that was hilarious. It was awesome to see Trump's big smile here. Trump posted his response today. He says, "We lost a great friend today, the Hulkster. Hulk Hogan was MAGA all the way, strong, tough, smart, but with the biggest heart. He gave an absolutely electric speech at the Republican National Convention, which you just saw a clip. That was one of the highlights of the entire week. He entertained fans from all over the world, and the cultural impact he had was massive. To his wife, Sky, and family, we give our warmest, best wishes and love. Hulk Hogan will be greatly missed." Vince McMahon, who founded the WWF, and I mean he's just literally the brains behind the whole operation, WWE, and so forth. When I was a kid, it was called the WWF. He said this today, posting this on X: "The world lost a treasure today. Hulk Hogan was the greatest WWE superstar of all time, someone who was loved and admired around the world. He was a trailblazer, the first performer who transitioned from being a wrestling star into a global phenomenon. His grit and unbridled thirst for success were unparalleled and made him the consummate performer. He gave everything he had to the audience whom he appreciated, respected, and loved." He leaves us with one of his favorite expressions: "Train, take your vitamins, and say your prayers. Today, we pray for him." And here is icon Ric Flair reacting just moments after finding out that Hulk Hogan has passed. I just think this is such a powerful, emotional reaction and take. I wanted to share this with you.
People always wanted to paint us as enemies, but we were actually very, very close friends. And we kept up with each other on a regular basis. So I just talked to Jimmy Hart yesterday, and he was fine. To have this happen is just horrible.
I mean, this is just absolutely heart-wrenching if you're a Gen Xer, because these guys were such a huge part of our childhood, and Ric Flair really covered that beautifully. Here is the iconic moment in 1987. This is WrestleMania 3. I remember being a kid. This is one of the most vivid memories from my childhood. The day that Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant. This guy's over 500 pounds, 600 pounds. He's like 7 feet tall. Nobody thought this was possible. This was absolutely. I want to know, where were you in 1987? What were you doing? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Do you remember when this moment happened, when he body slammed Andre the Giant? Let me know in the comments. I just want to end with a beautiful, one of his last interviews, just talking about his journey and his faith. I just love this clip. This is really quick. I think this is the perfect ending to this.
Well, when things were tough, I realized that this too shall pass, that this was just a temporary situation. I realized that, as long as I made the right choice, and followed my faith more than what people were saying, or what the newspapers or the tabloids were saying, and didn't get sucked into that, none of that stuff was real. The only thing that is really real is the stuff that's going to last forever. Your faith and your belief in God, and knowing that, once you're a Christian, you've accepted Christ as your Savior. You're not going to perish, but you're going to have everlasting life. That belief in itself and that faith is what's pretty much the only thing that's real to me. Everything else is kind of like a life situation, but that's my life after life after life.
Absolute icon. 71 is way too young to go. God bless you. God rest your soul. Hulk, beautiful words. Thank you for sharing everything. God bless your family, your loved ones, your kids, and may God grant them peace soon. Okay, and some other live breaking news. If you missed what's been happening over the last couple of days, Tulsi Gabbard releasing this absolute damning intelligence report confirming that Obama orchestrated, architected, and propagated the biggest political scandal of our era, this Russia collusion hoax to impede then successor and incoming President Trump. President Trump said in a press conference a couple of days ago, called out Obama publicly. I did a video on that. Then it was Tulsi Gabbard verifying and confirming everything, Caroline Leavitt. And I said, it's now up to Pam Bondi to say it out loud and get it out there and do something about it. Well, today, breaking news, late last night, Attorney General Pam Bondi announced the formation of the DOJ strike force to pursue the criminal referrals of Obama and his associates made by DNI Tulsi Gabbard. Bondi has promised the strike force will deliver justice for the American people. Now, we've heard this all before. Pam Bondi talks a good game. She does a great job getting in front of media and giving interviews and podcasts. Action, arrests, handcuffs, not so much. So let's see what happens here. But this news is absolutely huge. At least we now have heard from her. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think anything's going to come of this? What do you think is going to happen to President Obama? Put nothing in the comments if you think nothing. Put arrested if you think he's going to get arrested. Or maybe just put in the comments that he's at the very least, going to be subpoenaed and have to talk to Congress. Let me know in the comments. I can't wait. I personally, I think at the very, very least, the best thing that could come out of this is the head of this deep state Democratic cabal, probably the one who was in charge of the auto pen, probably the one who was in charge of the last 4 dark years. I call him the divider in chief. Ever since he became president, it seems like race became a prominent issue. DEI, woke, cancerous, parasitic, woke ideas became prominent and systemic. At the very least, I don't think he's going to get arrested, but at the very least, I think the exposure of this shiny, gleaming, sparkly, eloquent, duplicitous snake Obama, the exposure of that is going to have major, major ramifications at the very least. But quite honestly, I don't think anything's going to happen to him. Let me know what you think. Here is former DNI James Clapper reacting to the strike force that Pam Bondi is now initiating and Tulsi Gabbard's report, and he's not happy.
When the director says that she's referred these filings to the Justice Department for a criminal investigation, tonight we're told they formed what is called a strike force. Do you have concerns that they will attempt to prosecute you?
Well, certainly I do. After 8.5 years of this, and I don't know of an intelligence product that was more scrutinized, more investigated than that product was by numerous people. It's very disconcerting. It really is. And I take seriously when the President of the United States accuses me of being a participant in a treasonous conspiracy, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, what's your reaction to that?
It's ridiculous. It is untrue.
So what will you do if they come after you? What is your plan?
Well, I'll lawyer up, I suppose. Already have.
You've already hired attorneys in anticipation that this Trump Justice Department could try to prosecute you.
We've had sort of perpetual attorneys since I left the government in 2017.
Why would you need perpetual attorneys since 2017 if you didn't do anything wrong, Mr. Clapper? Sounds to me like somebody feels very, very guilty and is scared deep in the marrow of his bones. Let me know what you guys think of that. Okay. In our final clip of the day, Gavin Newsom admits, first of all, he did a 2-hour podcast in the middle of a workday while California is literally deteriorating, while Palisades fire victims have not absolutely been given any opportunity to rebuild their homes. They've been homeless for now over 6 months. Crime is up. LA has got lawlessness all over the place. You've got a mayor who's defying federal agents, defying basically law and order. And this guy's too busy trying to run for president in 2028 and doing 2-hour podcasts in midweek. Check out this clip right here of him essentially admitting that the coup to oust Biden was real. Watch.
There was a lot of talk, rhetoric, that there was an internal desire to overthrow him around that time, because you could see on TV he was struggling in the polls and Donald Trump was reveling in it. And then I heard this narrative coming up that, Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party were having private conversations and telling him to step down and forcing him out. Yeah. All cards on the table, 100% truth. Is there any truth in that?
Yeah. No, a lot of that was happening. A lot of people were, there was a phone tree that lit up that night. There was a text tree, phone tree, email, just blew up.
Saying?
People were in panic. Total, full-fledged panic.
So we were right. You guys executed a coup on a sitting president and then appointed someone who was unelected, appointed someone without democracy, without the backing of the Constitution, without a primary, without a vote from the American people, whether or not they wanted that individual running, even your own party. You have a history of exodus of people from your own party who were disgusted by everything. You just now admit it. This is why the American people are demanding accountability from these absolute heathens who hate America. And we need it now. Pam, I'm saying it once, I've said it twice, I'm saying it again. You got to step up, and we need handcuffs to commence. I can't wait to get your comments on everything that we talked about. This was a jam-packed video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got a lot out of it. As always, please, it doesn't cost you a thing. If you could just tap that thumbs up right now, it helps us out immeasurably so we can reach more people and achieve our mission of making common sense go viral. You can even do it with your remote right now. Just click on that thumbs up. Also, don't forget to check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. I posted them very, very recently as well. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's free. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.